My name is Sarah and this is my channel, Moments in the Garden. And today I'm going to be participating in the Meet My Garden Challenge put on by Kadie from Rain or Shine Gardening. I'm going to go ahead and put her channel link in the description box below, so definitely go check her out. So Kadie had put out a post on YouTube asking for people to answer some questions, some prompts that she had put forth in order to grow our gardening community here on YouTube, and just to get to know some new gardeners and some new channels and encourage people to show what they have growing in their yards. I want to thank Kadie for this opportunity, and so let's get started. So I live in eastern Missouri near St. Louis, and I garden in zone 6B, 7A. I think I'm actually technically in zone 7A, but we're right on the border of 6B, so I kind of say both and when people ask me. But I have a small garden. It's a large patio, and then I have a garden bed back here where I plant a lot of perennials, and then I have several areas where I do container planting. But I didn't start my channel until this year, so June of 2026 I actually started my YouTube channel, and I had been, thinking about it for a while. Is that something I want to do? Feeling insecure, like nobody wants to see this. But I thought, just on a whim in June, I thought, well, let me just try it. Let me film a garden tour and we'll see what happens. So I filmed that first garden tour in June, and it was so much fun. I loved it. I loved showing everything. I loved even the editing. I loved making the thumbnails, and I loved coming up with the creative ideas to really make some fun videos. So it's been a short journey so far, but it's been a lot of fun. I've posted a lot of videos, so go ahead and make sure you check out my channel, and I'll actually put a link to my latest garden tour video in the description box, just so you can get like a more in-depth feel for my garden. And what to expect from my garden channel? Well, I would say garden tours. I do a tour about once a month of my own garden, and I also like to do garden vlogs where I'm doing garden maintenance, or maybe planting something, things like that. And then I also have quite a few shopping videos, going to the garden center and showing you what's new and exciting at the garden center. So I've done Lowe's, Home Depot, independent garden centers. And then I also like to show maybe some thrift store, antique store, secondhand shopping, where you can find some really interesting things for the garden that you can get secondhand. And then I'm also a member of my local garden club, so that brings me lots of opportunities to show you things that we're doing with the garden club. We meet about once a month, so there's either a meeting or an activity, so I can bring you along with me to that. And I'm also part of the community garden, which is actually a couple blocks from my house, and it's been really fun to join that community garden this year, because I don't really have the space here to grow lots and lots of things, or large vegetables or pumpkins or any of that. But at the community garden we have lots of full sun, raised beds, a huge space, so that's been really fun to be a part of that, along with all the friends and interesting people I've met along the way there. So that's a little bit about me and my channel. So let's get into the 10 prompts. So number one is my favorite place in the garden, and I'm going to go with my triangle bed. This was sort of an afterthought of the patio build, and I really didn't know what to do with it at first, but it's become a really, really cute little bird bath garden. These are some Daisy May daisies from Proven Winners. Those bloom really well in May and June, and then we have one lone daisy there. I'll insert some clips of what this looks like when it's in full bloom, because it's stunning. And then I have some annual salvia here. You can see a bumblebee over there who's really enjoying himself. That's a tater tot arborvitae. This bird bath I made from 2 terracotta pots that I turned upside down, and then I put a saucer on the top to hold the water. So that's been really cute, and I love terracotta, so I love the look of this in the garden. And then also we have the Proven Winners Rise Up Lilac Days Rose. I just planted that this year. It's given me a few blooms. I'll show you images of that. It's not blooming currently, but it is, I'm hoping, going to climb up this trellis here. And this rose is a mini climber. I believe you can grow it as a shrub, but also as a climber. And with my small garden, if I want a rose, it's got to be mini, or a small version of a rose. And then here on this trellis I have a clematis that is the HF Young clematis, and this one is a nice purple bloom. So I think that's going to look really nice against the pink rose and the purple clematis when those are in bloom. And number 2 is my most peaceful spot, which has to be my covered deck area. This is a covered wood deck that I put up some screens to keep the bugs out. and we have a nice sectional out here, and it's really nice because I can see the garden over here and I can hear the solar fountain, and it's just very, very private back here, and no bugs, which is always nice. It's always like nice and cool because it's shaded, so I really enjoy it back here. So number 3 is my biggest challenge, and I would say that is working in a small space. I don't have a huge garden to work with, so I'm typically looking for smaller plants, anything that says dwarf on the tag. Those usually are good for smaller gardens, and it's one of those cases where I want everything, I want all the things, but I just have to find the right variety for my size of garden. So if I want a rose, I'm going to find a rose that's a smaller variety that's not going to overtake everything in the whole garden. So that's been kind of a challenge, but also fun, because you really have to think ahead and plan and find the exact right plants for your garden. And then also I do have clay soil, so that is a little difficult to work with, especially in this perennial bed, because it has been it was under landscape fabric and rocks for probably over 20 years, and so that soil was really, really compact and just no nutrients. So I spent the last 3 years working on the soil and amending it with compost and mulch and everything constantly. So yeah, the clay soil is a challenge, but you can work with it for sure. And number 4 is my star plant of the year, and it has to go to the elephant ears. These things have been so much fun. This was a bulb that I had gotten from my mom, and I planted it in this container not really knowing what to expect this year, and it's just been amazing. Now some of these leaves are a little aged, but it is pushing out some new leaves. I think this is a new one, and there's a new one back there. So this has been really fun, and I actually measured one of the biggest leaves that it had earlier in the season. I think it was almost 2 feet, in length. So these are amazing, and I will definitely repeat this next year. What am I most proud of? Well, we're gonna have to get in the car for that. Let's go. It's the community garden. All right, let's go in and take a look. We've got some amazing squash that are taking over. Trellises with beans and pumpkins. And we've got squash. And we've got tomatoes. We've got cut flowers. I'm just really proud of all the time and effort that the volunteers put in to keep this place going, from planting seeds to weeding to watering every week, every day. It just takes a lot of man hours, and there's a lot of great people that are part of this. So my nonstop bloomer has to be this Sun Patient. This is the compact orchid blush Sun Patient, and this thing has just bloomed all summer. It's been amazing. I do fertilize it about once or twice a week, and this is definitely a plant that needs a lot of water though. I think on the tag it actually said like water it every morning, because it will start to droop when it gets thirsty, but that's okay. I mean, I feel like I'm out here every morning to water anyway, so it just gets a little bit extra water, but it's beautiful. I love the color. It has this really like cool tone pink color, and it's huge. It's probably 3 or 4 times bigger than it was when I planted it, so I love it. Number 7 is what makes my garden unique. Well, I think it's the layout and the fact that we don't have grass in our backyard, which is pretty unusual. In front of me is a driveway and a garage. We have a fence and a shed and a house, so we're kind of locked in here, but the patio is a really great place to hang out, and I love it. I have my perennial bed, and then the triangle bed, and then I also have a lot of containers around that I use to bring color and life into the space. And number 8 is something I've accomplished, and sort of going along with number 7, the patio design. I pretty much designed this based on the small and awkward parameters, frankly, that we have here. And when I planted this perennial bed, it literally was just a blank slate with brown mulch. That's all there was. Every single plant here I have picked out and planted. There's probably over 40 plants here, I would think. So it's a lot of digging in clay soil, if you know what I mean. It's been really fun to design everything and really make it my own. So what's next? Well, it's gonna be this area I'm calling the North Alley. So this is on the north side of my house, and we've got a trellis, we've got some rocks, we've got some just random plants, and so I really want to develop this with a nice path of rocks leading up to the trellis, and to add a bunch of shade plants, because this is the north side of my house. It does get a little bit of sun, but for the most part it's pretty shady, so I'm envisioning a bunch of hosta and shady things. So I'm really looking forward to developing this area. Number 10 is one piece of garden wisdom. So for me, that's actually 2 parts. My piece of garden wisdom for 2026 has been to find your community, whether that's online in YouTube or other social media, or even in person in your local town. For me, this year I joined the local garden club, and I also joined the community garden. So that has been really fun, finding other people in my community that have a passion for gardening, and it's really been very fun and rewarding. So the second part of my garden wisdom would be to enjoy those moments in the garden, and that's really the heart of my channel. It is to remember those moments, because they are fleeting, and I think Kadie alluded to this in her video as well, that seasons change, everything comes and goes. Your garden today in August is not going to look the same as it does in January, you know? So it's just a reminder to, you know, notice those moments in the garden. And I really want to use my channel to document and share those small moments. You know, it could be big moments too, but especially those little moments, you know, that flower that you grew from seed and it bloomed, and then you have a bumblebee, you know, feeding off of it, is just a fleeting moment, you know, in our gardens. And so I think it's really important to remember to notice those small things in the garden. Well, I want to thank Kadie for putting on this challenge. It's been really fun to share my garden with you all, and I hope you take a moment to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. I have a lot of ideas brewing that I want to do and show. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.